Oh, I probably freaked all the neighbors out around here. Luckily, I have friends who want to record me while doing such creepy stuff, and that was not me going completely mad. I can assure you my madness is absolutely fine at the moment. That was me trying to portray the madness of Brexit. Tomorrow is the 31st of March and the UK should leave the European Union at the end of this month, which is not going to happen now, and that's not really surprising. I don't want to go through all the news around how crazy Brexit is at this stage, about everything coming from the Parliament, from the government, how Theresa May is just completely clinging to that deal of hers. I just want to talk about how all of this feels to me and to other people who just see how crazy the whole stuff is. I'm Caterina George, Romanian writer and journalist in the UK, and for talking about Brexit today, let's just sit down. We might feel a little bit more comfortable that way. A little bit of tea might help as well when talking about such difficult, cringy topics. Especially when you can't drink coffee any longer. That has actually got nothing to do with Brexit whatsoever. It's just that I get migraines if I drink coffee nowadays. But actually, the comparison might work one way or another. Coffee, certain advantages of being in the European Union. Well, speaking of comparisons which work and comparisons that don't work, the worst one that I have ever heard about Brexit was thinking of it as a divorce from the European Union. Come on now. Who in the Western world sees a marriage today as an economical and financial agreement and a diplomatic agreement? Yes, that's what marriages used to be, maybe like a couple of centuries ago. Families would marry their children so that they would build a bond for growing their wealth and not losing it, and a diplomatic bond, a bond for networking, so that they would work together. But do many people in the Western world today marry for those reasons? No, I doubt it so. And Brexit in its current shape and form makes just as much sense as that comparison a divorce from the European Union ever made. It doesn't come as a surprise, really. People who voted for Brexit for whatever reasons they had, I'm not placing any blame, because I think blame doesn't lay with the common people. It lays with the politicians who really clearly don't have any clue about what they're doing nowadays. People who voted for Brexit didn't expect this, did they? What they might have expected to happen seems nowadays just about as clear as Brexit itself. Yes, nobody seems to have any clue about what the next step is and how to get out of this mess. But where clarity lacks around proper solutions, there's more clarity around the bad effects of all of this politics of confusion and, everything will just have to make do. If Brexit politics has achieved anything so far, it's all around radicalisation, and news in the mainstream media account for this. Just a couple of days ago, I have come across this article in The Guardian talking about how far-right terrorism threat is growing, say MI5 and police chiefs. Also, The Guardian presents a short documentary about the direction that UKIP has taken recently. With a new leader, they have recruited people who have been historically associated with the alt-right movement, such as Joseph Watson, the editor-at-large for InfoWars, such as Tommy Robinson, a character of such notoriety and with such an interesting criminal record behind him. What completely left me startled was when the new party leader of UKIP was asked about the convictions that Tommy Robinson boasts in his record. And this guy had the nerve to compare such a person with Mahatma Gandhi. Well, when somebody is responsible for encouraging violence against people and you compare them with a personality who promoted silent, peaceful protesting, there's something very dodgy happening in the person's head and in the way they think they can manipulate their audience. As a Romanian, that comparison really triggered me and made me want to record this vlog. So far, I have never talked about Brexit in any of my videos, but I come from a country where people peacefully protested in the streets against the dictator and the communist regime in 1989. As I told you in my vlog from Timișoara, from my home city, the actual core of the Romanian Revolution, where the peaceful protesting started, people died there in the streets. They went out to shout against an oppressive regime and they were shot at. And no, please, UKIP leader, never compare people who achieved so much through peaceful protesting with somebody who is responsible for instigating to hate against other people. And also, as a Romanian living in the UK, you won't see me run away in terror like I was just joking a little bit at the beginning of this vlog. There's a reason why. I was born and grew up in a communist country under a dictatorship. In 1989, we had so much hope about all of the changes that will happen in our country, how we're going to be a great democracy, we're going to all work together and live in a very prosperous country, and we would all benefit from the new changes. Guess what? That didn't really happen, because our political class didn't just change overnight. It was just as corrupted as it had been in the communist regime. We didn't have new people just taken out of the box overnight who would be able to implement new, better politics in the country. Then I always thought that my generation will be able, through our resilience and strength, to do a lot more in Romania. Well, in a way we did, because all of our governments which were trying to implement stupid, detrimental politics somehow clashed with the people who went out in the streets and protested for days, weeks and months until they just gave up on some of the laws that they were just going to pass. But then at the same time, I reached an age when I thought, what am I doing? Am I going to just live my whole life in hope that things will get better? That's the point when I moved to the UK. And for me, that was a great experience that helped me understand that all of us common people, we are in the same situation. Politicians all across the world now seem not to know what to do any longer. They seem not to think and realize what the actual difficulties are. They seem to just want to play smoke screens so that it is not so clear that they have no clue about what they are doing. And in this, all of us, the common people, the real people, we have a saying, but not in a way that will just separate us from each other, in a way that will send the clear message that everybody needs to do their job. And just to spend my very last penny on this matter before it gets completely dark outside, and I am recording in the conservatory today, this evening, when corporations are expanding globally and they are controlling economy globally, but countries and politicians are going the opposite direction towards separatism, how is that going to work really? So the ones that are going to have more power and money will be the corporations, and the ones who are going to just struggle and never have a clue about what they're doing because they're not working together will be the country's governments. That to me sounds a little bit like a dystopian world. In one of the books that I've read a few years ago, which is called Insignia, and the world in that book is completely like that. States are just puppets for corporations, with a couple of corporations controlling the world and a couple of unions across the globe just working as screen for what the corporations are doing. That's all I wanted to tell you about Brexit. I haven't got a solution myself, but then I am not a politician who has been elected and given the responsibility to sort this mess out. They should do their job just as I do my job as a writer and a journalist. I would love to hear your ideas and your thoughts around this matter as well, so leave me a comment either here or on my Facebook page Land Inside. Next week I am going to see you with a lot more of a cheerful vlog, and until then I will just tell you, as usual, ciao for now!